Jerry, you, oh yeah, you're in. Great, go ahead.
Good evening. It's 6:05, February 4th, 2026. We'll go ahead and call our annual board meeting to order. On the agenda tonight, the first item is Resolution 2026 number 1. And first order would be the nepotism policy, which we've already signed, correct? Acknowledging the nepotism policy of the township. The second issue would be the internal controls, and we have
It's just been certifying that.
certifying that we have adopted those and that those are in place. Do we need to sign those as well?
That's my certification to you.
All right. So we've got certification that those are in place. The third item would be the bond for you, Susan. You've already had that issued in the amount of $30,000. Is that correct?
Yep. It's been filed with the
And for the
auditor's office.
public's knowledge, that was recorded with the recorder back on November 6th of last year. So that item has been taken care of. And then we have our township assistance guidelines for 2026.
And the only change that I'm proposing is to change the burial cost maximum output from $2,000 to $3,000. Costs have gone up. We normally deal with Glancy Funeral Home. I verified with Shannon Glancy the current app cost for them. And so by increasing that to $3,000 max out of pocket, that should cover whether it's a funeral service or a cremation, because there are those that are opposed to cremation. And so a funeral does cost a little more. And they've been really good to work with. And they're pretty much the only funeral service that does the township or the burials in our area. And so I just felt that that was fair.
So Appendix E is the only change to the existing policy or our existing guidelines?
Yes.
Okay. I'll just go ahead and read those so the public is aware of that. So the Appendix E would now, would now be proposed in the bottom section of this to have the cost not to exceed $3,000, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And there's an application process that has to be done by next of kin, provide you with a death certificate, and none of that has changed in the policy, correct?
The only thing that's changed is the amount of maximum that the
Okay.
township will pay for a funeral service or for a burial service.
All right, so,
And those are, the guidelines are available on our website. So they are public. There's access to those.
so do we have a motion to?
We don't need a
Don't
motion.
need a
We'll just
motion
do
to
that when we
adopt that?
sign. Mhm.
Okay, all right. So we'll sign that and that will take care of that. And then the fifth resolution is the mileage rate paid to staff members, and that it's going to continue to reflect the state
Mhm.
set amount, which is 49 cents per mile. Is that correct?
Yes.
So that will be the rate for 2026.
Yep. I mean, you can always change that, but that's just kind of what,
Okay.
that's what we adopted last year.
All right. And then the final resolution item, number 6, was the 2025 investment statement.
So we only have a checking account at Star, and that gives our amount at the end of the year plus whatever interest we earned on that checking account for the year.
Okay. So as of December 31st, that amount was $328,945, and the interest earned for last year was $30.72. Is that correct?
Mhm.
Okay.
And
Do we need to
We can sign that one, yeah, because I have to upload that separately on Gateway.
Okay.
So you can go ahead and have everyone sign this one. I think this is the original, so. Basically by signing, we're approving everything that we just discussed.
Okay.
So
Do
do
we
we
need to,
need to make a motion or?
Maybe we'll get that one.
do we need to make a motion
Sure,
to
why don't
adopt
we
these?
just go ahead?
Okay. I'll ask for a motion to adopt then the resolutions 1 through 6. Do you have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Excuse me. I should have a pen to attest to, not a pencil.
So So then that will move us to the second item on the agenda for this evening, then I believe the annual financial report.
If you would like to look it over, I can pass it through. I did email it. We kept having an issue where only just certain categories, they were going to the wrong ones, like how the data was getting like red. So it was going to categories that we don't even expend from.
Oh,
So, I got it fixed, but our software guy, he's on it, so. Anyway. I will, as you can see, we've been spending, under budget. Yeah. So we expended a total of 24,000 out of the, general fund for the year. And then we have a total of, excuse me, too far. Township assistance was 15,000. Fire service was 28,000. Rainy day fund was the 7990. That was for the cemetery work we had done. And then we didn't just distribute any out of the cumulative fund, fire cumulative fund. So our total disbursements for the entire year was 80,133.31. So, and our total revenue for the year was 104. So, and all of the revenue just came from the tax distribution plus the lit. So there's nothing unusual about that. Any questions about that?
And the stuff we bought for the fire department was out of the fire and EMS fund, right? Is that
Yes,
what
yes.
the air.
Now that it got, because there was a delay, we're gonna get that invoice this year. As far as the gear, remember we decided on, we got like 4 sets of gear and then they purchased 2, the fire department did. Well, we hadn't got the bill. So that's gonna be invoiced to us in 26. So our share of the payments that we're making on air packs will come out in 26 in addition to our share of gear. So, that takes us to 30,000 of the appropriation on our end for the, So, but we have the cumulative fund that we can make payments out of as well for gear or whatever. So,
and it might be too late. Aren't we able to encumber that money? If we had. Never mind.
could we charge for services, you mean?
No,
Oh.
because the bill was intended to be paid last year.
Oh.
Can't we just encumber the funds, like kind of
Oh,
carry over? It's called an
yeah,
encumbrance.
yeah, right.
but it-
Well, we didn't even have the bill in hand. Like, they didn't even,
Mhm. I think it has to be done by mid-January.
Oh, okay.
according- I think for
Okay.
State Board of Accounts
Well,
standards.
we do have the option too, since you guys are the governing body, that if I need to make an additional appropriation request, it just goes to you guys and you can approve that, so.
Technically, we weren't really, even though we had made the agreement to purchase them, we weren't actually billed for them yet. in
Correct,
2020.
Correct, right. And it just calculates into our 2026 appropriation rather than
Mhm.
2025. But we still have sufficient funds sitting
Yeah, so
there.
maybe toward later in the year, we look at that, because I'd like to stay on the rotation that we set in place. I would really
Yes.
like to keep that going.
Yeah, because right now we have, in just the regular township fire NEMIS, we have a balance of 85,000.
Okay.
And so between our share of the air packs for the year and then what our share of the gear will be, I think that will speak for about 40, almost even. But again, I'm going to go back and look. I'm sorry, I should have done that. Sometimes I get a little muddled because what's the total cost and then what's our 50%?
Mhm. Yeah,
I may have those. You know what? We'll get through this, but I do have that sheet. In fact, I'll just grab it. Okay. When we had our fire meeting in June. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so the gear is gonna be going to that. So between the town and us for our regular fire, it's 40 each or 80 total. and 60 for this year, 30 for us, 30 for them, is already designated between air pack payments, insurance, our contract with the department, and then the gear. So that does leave, so I think we'll be okay barring some major something, but again, we've got our cumulative fund that's got sufficient funds and we can spend up to $20,000
Okay.
without needing an additional appropriation for that as well. So, yes. Just real quickly, I will just touch base on our township assistance just for the year. I'll just give you our totals. It's included that, but so we had 25 requests. That doesn't mean everyone made an application, but they inquired. They were trying to find out more. Maybe I handed them an application, they just didn't return one. So there's 25 requests. That's pretty much in line. We had 18, I think, last year. The difference was how many actually followed through. So last year we had more households. We only had 6 households this year that ended up receiving assistance. Of those 6, that included 11 individuals that made up those 6 households. 4,800 was given for assistance. 3,900 was denied, but again, there were a couple of them where their bill was $1,200 for electric. Others were it was $1,300, so basically between 2 households that comprised pretty much that total. And again, it was just a situation where they simply weren't working, could not justify why they were not working, had lead bills just build up, that kind of thing. Then the gateway will ask if you had to give a dollar value to requests that you referred on to other agencies that didn't expend township funds. So I just basically took, how much did the township on average help, say with water or electric or whatever. So we made referrals. So we requested referred about 6,400 worth of requests to other agencies. A lot of that was ICAP. So for energy assistance, that was the majority, but I did also include food pantry because now that they support and they provide that. And then there was just a couple times where I was able to get a payment plan set up at the clerk's office, on behalf of someone so that the water wouldn't get disconnected. And then it asks also, when I mentioned those referrals, so there might be a household that their request was for electric and water, and I made referrals. Well, then that's 2 referrals. That's how that works. So about 30 referrals for the year. So anyway, so those numbers it will just be a little bit higher as far as what we expend. Not necessarily, it's not going to show up as direct assistance, but we're giving 4,000 to the food pantry this year via our community service agreement. So those dollars will get put to use. So are there any questions about that?
What did you say that we did pay out for 4,000?
4,800.
800, okay.
It's actually 819 already.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah. So and again, that's just a little bit down from what we did last year. But again, the ones that actually got back with me and qualified, it's just a little bit less this year.
All right.
So that kind of wraps up. So then we'll just need to make a motion to approve the annual finance report, and then I will.
Go ahead and make a motion and we go ahead and adopt the annual financial report for last year. Do you have a second? All right.
And this is the certification, and this is what gets uploaded along with the advertisement to the Chronicle Tribune.
Okay.
So Doug, you're gonna have to sign twice. You're gonna have to sign at the chair and then on down.
All right.
Yeah.
I guess all those in favor of adopting the financial report, say aye. Aye. So that was adopted, and I'll go ahead and sign here.
You said it was a day. This is a month. We need to do this minutes. I don't even have them here.
Here you go.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, and then we also need to do the 161s. Let me get those real quick. I didn't even have it on my list. Oh, you know what? We're just gonna have to.
The 161s, I don't know what that is.
Oh,
Right here.
yeah,
I have
thank you,
that too.
thank you. Because I'm like, well, I'm going over to my computer and it's screen. I really am losing my mind. Excuse me, folks. Okay, so yeah.
Okay, so this is,
Yes.
these are the minutes from
Yes, and that's
September.
my bad, because when we had an organizational meeting where we just nominated the officers, I meant to bring the minutes from the 24th of September where we adopted the budget and so.
And these, I think you already sent us out.
Yes,
We've
they've been out, we're
already
just
reviewed
looking to
these.
officially
Okay.
approve, they have to be
All right.
recorded in, it's so funny, minutes, the approval of minutes has to be recorded in.
Okay. All right. A motion to approve the minutes then from the September 24th, 2025 meeting.
Oh, motion.
All right, and I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any questions regarding the January 6 minutes by anybody or any discussion on that? If not, I'll go ahead and make a motion to adopt those meeting minutes.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so I think we need to set our meetings for this year.
So we're required to have, the remaining meetings we're required to have are the budget hearing and then the budget adoption. If there's just any others that you would like to have, like you just know, hey, I think it'd be a good idea to just check back in, like say May, or if you just want to leave it as, hey, as needed, that's fine too. I just wanted to present that in case there was. We will meet again with the fire department in April.
When do we do budget hearings?
Usually we do them September, but we can do them, I mean, as early as August. We just have to get, they don't start doing the budget, or the budget, like, meetings with the field rep, just to get this process started. The workshops is what they're called. Those don't usually start until late July. And so then you have to get 10 days notice prior to your hearing, and another 10 days from hearing into adoption. So typically we've done it in September.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean we have to.
Works
stay
for me.
there.
Wait till after Labor Day, everybody, it's got
Yeah,
back
well,
to school stuff. so
The
it's
other
all
thing too
done.
was getting our numbers from the fire department to know
Mm-hmm.
if they knew of anything significant coming up that given year. And so we did request that those numbers be given to us by, wasn't it August? I think is what we said.
That's fine.
We put in the minutes, but yeah. And then that gives us time to put in the budget and then get it ready for
Mm-hmm.
the proper advertising.
So we could discuss that at our meeting in September as well, right?
Well, yeah, that would be part of the budget.
fire.
That would be part of the budget because they would have to get their request to me by, well, really to me in the town by August so that we can
Okay.
make sure that we're appropriating the right amount. We've just been keeping it the same because we've just never ever gotten any information from them. So, again, I feel like we got a pretty good handle now that we know, hey, we're gonna be making payments on the air packs, we know that we're paying for the gear, all that stuff. So, anyway, so if we feel like it's good to go, then let's just put those two on the books, and then like if something does come up, we only need to give 48 hours notice. But if we want to, I think last year we did it the 10th and 24th.
My phone's at home.
Yeah, so if we're looking at a Wednesday again,
Whatever works best.
Okay.
It just typically we won't be able to do it second, fourth, and you can't do thirds, right? So
Right.
we're looking at. There is a fifth Wednesday this year in September. We could do.
The first. and
Well, we could
fifth.
even do, like, again, we can do a different day if we need to, but like, again, the pantry's open second and fourth Wednesday, so we can't do that.
could we do the 30th and then do the second one on October 8th, or is that too late on the second end?
30th, it would have to be another 10 days then, right? It'd have to be the 30th and then the 14th of October.
And that's not the first or,
The 14th would be the third, though.
14th would be the second. I'm on the right year. Yeah, I'm on 2026.
And well, what year am I in?
So the Wednesdays in October are 7, 14, 21, 28.
Mm-hmm.
If you did September 30th being the fifth Wednesday in September.
For the hearing and then adopt the 14th, but that would be, we would
is that
have
a
to,
pantry day?
pantry day.
What's the next Wednesday? And is that too late? That's the third
That's the
Wednesday.
third, I
I
know.
can't do third Wednesdays.
Are we able to do like Mondays or Tuesdays or?
I can do
Thursdays.
most Mondays.
I can, Mondays are a little, it doesn't really matter.
So I know on
Monday or
Tuesdays,
Tuesday.
like you need to wrap up by,
Yeah, usually, yeah, I'm good on I just have to have my grandkids back to Muncie by 7:30-ish or so,
okay,
I mean, so that would be fine.
we did like a 6 o'clock, we're usually
Hmm.
finished. I would say that, or we could look at a
On what
Thursday,
day of the week?
Tuesday or a
Tuesdays.
Thursday.
Tuesdays are really typically good for me.
Tammy, do you have a preference?
No.
Well,
So we
Do-
want to go ahead and set then
do we want to try then for,
September,
we can do 15th and 29th, or we could do 8th and 22nd?
Are we talking October? I mean, September.
Mhm.
probably should do, probably should do the 15th. Is that a holiday week?
Seventh.
Oh, thank you, yep.
Yeah.
Yep, so 15th and 29th? Okay, so our budget hearing will be September 15th. And the adoption will be the 29th. Okay. And we are able to have, like, say, a hearing and then adjourn that and then go right into like a business meeting if we wanted to do that. And
Okay.
same thing on the adoption side, if we wanted to do that, at that time to just have a business meeting, so.
And the last item for this evening is the legislative updates.
Yeah, they, Township Association had to reschedule. They're not giving them an update until
Okay.
Friday. I can't remember what all I've shared. I know with Tammy, I shared more because she was at the fire meeting in January, but Senate Bill 207 is the one that the Township Association is supporting, because that bill is drafted by Senator Niemeyer, who used to be a township trustee. There is enormous pressure to reduce the amount of townships in Indiana. So Niemeyer, and along with the Township Association, felt like they came up with a pretty good compromise. So they had this list of criteria, and you get a point. You can score points for each thing. If you have 4 or more points, you will be required to merge with a contiguous township. If you score below 4, then you do not have to. That's Senate Bill 207. And there's House Bill 1315, and that is more aggressive, and it's actually proposing the elimination of townships, and that would be based on size. And so you have certain population size. So we would qualify, we would fall into that, we're below the population amount to be spared, so to speak. Then the way the legislation is, the last I was updated, now there may be a change, was that township then would get absorbed either by the county or the municipality that maybe it's in or near. It would be up to the county commissioners. Like we could put a request in, but then the county commissioners, I think, would have to ultimately decide. The issue with that is, so for instance, in our case, we would be absorbed by, let's say, the town of Van Buren. Problem is, Tammy lives out in a township. She does not vote for town council. So town council is in effect deciding how to spend her tax dollars, but she's not represented by them. So that's the major flaw in that one. And then, of course, they don't want to eliminate townships. They want to, maybe merge. So anyway, both did pass. I think the Senate bill passed a second reading. I know the House bill passed at least a first reading. So who knows? Who knows what it's really going to be? The proposals are as early as being effective 2028. So we all are up for election and we start a new term in 27. And I guess we just keep soldiering on until we are told otherwise. So I think this is the closest out of the last 30 years and the 30 different iterations on trying to do something with townships. I think this is the closest that they've ever gotten to actually taking action that's going to be enacted. And so anyway, I'll know more Friday. They've been trying to do updates through Zoom on Fridays, just letting know where things are. So anyway, so then for us, we would only have the option to either merge with Monroe or Washington. Those are our only 2 choices if we ended up being one of those.
Higher they are. I'm just curious. Well,
If Senate Bill 207 was passed, because it has to be a contiguous township.
Within the county.
within the county. Yep, I asked that too.
Yeah, so we can't go to Huntington and all
Can't
those.
go to Wells, so we have, that's true, so. And Monroe Township, they're already so closely affiliated with Jefferson Township and they
Mhm.
like, fire service and all that kind of stuff, so. I don't know, like I said, if House Bill, if there's even kind of a merger of the two and language is kept in place of being based on population, then in effect, like Grant County could possibly like go down to like 2 townships out of 13. Maybe like center and middle probably,
Mhm.
I don't, but so much is still like just not even, it could change every day, so.
So with those two towns, so Center Township potentially could be, as opposed to the commissioners under one of the proposals, they could be handling everything for our township and
Yeah,
whatever other
basically whatever
townships.
township service, according to Indiana code, is still told to be in place, then basically it all gets consolidated into a single, under a single administrator, and whether that's, and again, what's the criteria, we don't know. Oh, so for, like I told you on Senate Bill 207, there's point systems, so we scored 2. So we would not be one of those that would be basically required to merge. We could still continue to operate.
Okay.
Yeah, but again, we don't know what bill will pass, or even if the bills will pass with the language that we currently have, anything could change, so.
Will you email us those updates when you get them?
Yeah, I mean, if you're able, you're always welcome. It's like at 10 o'clock, they do like the legislative updates, they do like a Zoom, but sometimes there's lots to share and sometimes you just feel like.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
So
anyway.
that would be interesting whether or not, so if the center, doesn't sound like it in one proposal, but so if the Center Township trustee was making all the decisions for people that lived in Van Buren Township, would the Van Buren Township people have a stake in who
Yeah, I think
Is
it would
that-
probably voted,
they would?
like you elect a county trustee, or like however, whatever that structure would then become. Yeah. So I would think that if they're going more for the, that elimination legislation gains traction, and that's the one that's more looked at, they are gonna have to figure out a way that,
Has they given a reason behind this?
I think they feel like it's just duplication
Mhm.
of services, and I think they feel like there's too much waste out there, money just sitting out there that's not really needed. You know how that goes.
Mhm.
They're used to collecting a tax. I mean, that's not gonna change.
Right.
So someone's just gonna spend more
So
for
they
their
also
area.
have control over how that gets.
Yeah, I
spent.
mean, so to the taxpayer, I don't think that will change. Like the taxpayer, I think will still have the same amount of money taxed to them, if
Mhm.
not more. It's just how it's distributed is the only difference.
Mhm.
So anyway, so so I don't know what will all happen. I felt like with Senate Bill 1, it was kind of like push, 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 and then, let's just figure everything out later.
Mhm.
And, obviously with any legislation that has the chance of happening, and that could look pretty, just depending, it could look chaotic there for a time, but anyway. So
Okay,
Okay.
anyway, that's just the update, so,
anything else we need to discuss?
no. I believe we'll all be on the ballot in May
Mhm.
for primary.
When's the last day to file?
It's in the 6th, coming up
Okay.
at noon, but I think we all filed, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes,
I
okay.
just,
Oh, yeah.
she emails that to me every day and I wondered when that's gonna start.
Oh, gotcha.
Yes.
Okay, yep. So I believe it's the 6th at noon.
Okay.
It needs to have filed candidacy, so. I don't think I've got anything else at this moment.
All right, I'll take a motion to adjourn then.
I will motion.
All right, I'll second. And we are adjourned.
Thank you.